welcome to the Echoes of the Classics. My name is Jayan. I'll be your moderator for today. I'm thrilled to be joined by four brilliant minds and close friends of mine as we bring the classics into our conversations with the world we live in today. First up, I want you to meet Cristel. We have Cristel here. She's a resident deep thinker for this podcast, and you know what? She's the first one to catch the symbolic stuff that goes around when everybody misses it. Trust me, if you need someone who have a perspective that goes beyond the obvious, Cristel's your person. Then there's Jana. Now, Jana is our sharp, honest, and very unafraid to challenge the text that we will discuss today. Jana's bring the bold energy that always takes the discussion to the next level. And Kyla is next. She's an analytical, super insightful, and she's very great in connecting the dots between the literatures that we're going to talk about and the real life. So especially when it comes to the power, how it works in quiet ways. Jana and Kyla, Cristel will be the one to discuss it. And finally, we have Pan. Her empathy, literary intuition always bring the heart to our episode. She sees every side of every character that we'll be discussing and we're going to talk for this podcast. And she reminds us why these stories still matter for this time. So together, we're diving into the three unforgettable works in literature. First is The Six Characters in Search of an Author by Luigi Pirandello, Animal Farm by George Orwell, and Telephone Conversation by Wole Soyinka. Each piece raise big questions about who we are, who gets to speak, and even who holds the power. So let's get into it. So before we really dive deep into this podcast, let's do a lightning round to ground ourselves into the works. So I'll ask each of you to share the title, the author, or a quick one-line up. And what stood out to you the most for that poem or whatever that we're going to discuss in our literary?
Each of us?
Yes, everyone will discuss. So I'm going to ask you one by one. So now I will start with Cristel. Cristel, let's start with Six Characters in Search of an Author. What is it about and what stuck with you?
So, Six Characters in Search of an Author is a story written by Luigi Pirandello. So, it's about six characters barging in a rehearsal, demanding their story to be told. And what stuck with me the most is, in the story, we don't actually know what's a reality and what is an illusion. And until the end, it's not clear if the characters are real or if they're just an imagination of the author.
Thanks, Cristel. You know, that idea of characters struggling to exist outside their authors is such fascinating metaphor for their identity. Now, I think we need to flip to something poetic but no less intense. Jana, can you walk us through the telephone conversation?
I'm sorry, I'm shocked.
I thought I would be the last one to talk.
So, what's the title again? So, Wole Soyinka narrates a story between an African man and a landlady, wherein the African man is asking or finding a place to stay for the night, I think. And the landlady uses some harsh words, like he asks the African man, what's your color, how dark you are. So of course, if I'm in the situation, I'll get offended. So, but the African man's response was he uses sarcastic words. So at the end, the landlady was can you guess the word? Offended.
Yeah.
No. The landlady was not offended. Was angry.
No.
Was outsmarted. Yeah. So that's all.
So I think personally for telephone conversation, I love how it can reveal so much just for one call. That balance between calm and confrontational, that's really sharp, no? Let's shift into something broader now. Kyla, can you tell us about Animal Farm?
Yes, I can tell you something about Animal Farm. Animal Farm is a story written by George Orwell. It is about animals on the farm that rebel against human owner, and it is about political movements, power struggle, and it is very relevant today.
So I think the very gist of that story is that Orwell really knew how to use simple storytelling to make big political points, no? That line, some are more equal than others, still gives me a chill, no? So now, Pat, can you wrap up our sharing why these words, the animal farm, the 6 characters in search of an author, and telephone conversation are still worth bringing into conversation today?
Yes. These stories is more than just a casual stories. It shows how power can lead to corruption, even those who have good intentions.
Well, absolutely no. These words might look different in service, a play, a poem, and a fable, but they're all asking who gets to speak, who gets silent. So let's dig deep with this. What connects all of these 3 works between the tension over voice and power? Whether it's unfinished characters or farm animals or the man in the conversation, each is confronting systems that try to shape or erase them.
Yes.
So I want to start by asking this question: who really controls the story?
In the story or the poem, telephone conversation, actually, the first part of the story or the scene, the landlady was the one who controls the story. Of course, she was showing that between the two of them, she's the dominant one. But then, as the conversation continued, the African man managed to reverse the situation. So, and that's power actually.
And actually, in general, outside of the story, of course, the authors control the story because they get to decide the characters, the personality of the
Yes.
characters, the flow of the story, the plot. But within the story, it's always the people who wield the power that controls the flow. For instance, in the 6 characters in search of an author, we can see that the father has the power because, of course, he is the patriarch of the family. And then in the animal farm, right?
Yeah.
In the animal farm, Napoleon, who is the pig, controls the power because he is bossy, because he feels that he's the superior one within all the animals in that farm. And of course, as Jana stated in the telephone conversation, the landlady feels superior because of her race. So that's basically the people who controls the flow of the story.
In the 6 characters, the struggle is very literal. The character know that they exist, but they still need someone to validate their truth. So what do you think that says about how identity is shaped by others?
Yes, because sometimes you also need validation from others because in that way we can feel loved, appreciated, and also we also need recognition from others.
Not me.
No, I actually resonate with what Pat said.
How about
Kasi-
you? What are your thoughts about that?
I'm still speaking!
Sorry. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
No, as I was saying, I resonate with Pat because of course once in our lives, we want to feel validated by other people. It's actually human nature, because we seek that approval, because as Pat said, we want to feel appreciated, we want to feel loved, and that's the way that humans can feel loved, by saying that, oh, I see you, I see your efforts, I see what you're trying to do, so that's it.
You agree with that, Kyla?
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
And in Animal Farm, it's almost the opposite. The animals create their own system, but then again, they slowly lose their voice as the pigs rewrite everything. What do you think, or what makes you feel about power and truth? Because personally, I think because of power, it's very easy to twist the truth, and people believe it. And sometimes it shows in the national elections when people use misinformation for a candidate, which sometimes affects the candidacy of that good
Candidate! Good candidate! Yeah, good
Agree.
candidate. Agree!
No. Injustice. For me, power and truth they're not always in the same path. They, for example, I know the truth, but I don't have the power, I don't have the voice, I don't have the capacity, the resources.
Yeah.
To sum up it all, I don't have the power. Then, it may disregard the truth. Do you understand?
Yes.
Am I right?
I actually agree. Yeah. So basically, what Jana said is
Sorry.
if
Yes.
what if you don't have power.
You don't have power if you are no one, or even though you are telling the truth, if you don't have power,
Then you can tell the truth,
Yeah.
right?
I think Kyla has something to say.
Yes, going back to the story, it talks about how the animal farm, or animals,
What? Continue. Go.
animals fight over the power. It is about and shows the danger of following the leaders blindly, even they started out with good intentions.
I like
That's
your
so
answer.
good.
Yes.
That's so great.
Rinko's poem is a smaller moment but maybe the sharpest. The speaker keeps control of his voice even when he's being judged by the landlady. Do you think his calmness gives him more power in that moment?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
So Yinka, again. So as what I've said a while ago, the African man managed to reverse the situation wherein he outsmarted the landlady who feels like she's the dominant one by adding humor to his dialogue, like repeating questions, like example.
Zooming out, can you think of anything happening today in the news or online or in the recent midterm elections where someone is either being silenced or reclaiming their voice?
Yes, I think some journalists are being tagged because they are exposing the truth or some information about the government, and people tend to think that is something against, but in reality it is the truth.
Yeah, that's connected to the question a while ago about truth and power, right?
Yeah.
Already on the wrap-up part, and we're gonna close this podcast, but before that, I want to hear something from my friends. We're coming up for the end of this podcast, but before we close, I'd love to hear you.
Again?
Your final thoughts. What's one moment, message, or one line that you take away from this conversation for our podcast? But let's start with you.
Power is voice. Use it well.
Okay, that's nice.
You, Kyla, what's your take from this podcast?
I'm very thankful to be part of this podcast. I'm very excited to look for another episodes.
Jana?
I think what strikes me the most is, in reality, especially here in the Philippines, power and the truth always contradict with each other. Anyway, I had fun. Okay, that's all.
Crystal?
So since they all focus on the conversation, I just want to point out that this is really a great time, This is a great conversation that I had with my friends. And I hope, like what Kyla said, I hope that we can get to do this again on the next episode.
So to wrap it up, this episode of Echoes of the Classics, thanks for listening to all of our viewers, listeners, always, and remember, voice is power. Until the next time, keep reading, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep listening. Bye-bye! Bye!